Do you want to eat a lot? Is your appetite always open? Here is the solution: 8 foods that help cut off your appetite. 1. Drinking a ton of water can be comparable and things cover between feeling eager and parched on occasion, which prompts eating extra bites that the body doesn't require. So the individual is encouraged to savor water enormous and adequate amounts for the duration of the day, to keep up body hydration, and lessen from craving and yearning. With the capacity to add water-cherishing flavors, for example, slices of lemon or orange, and berries, it ought to be noticed the significance of drinking a huge glass of water prior to eating a dinner. It advances a sensation of totality and satiety after the dinner. 2. Focus on protein. A high-protein diet assists you with getting thinner and lessen craving, as the utilization of proteins prompts the arrival of chemicals that direct the craving, as well as furnishing the body with the fundamental energy for it. The individual is additionally encouraged to zero in on eating some protein divides during breakfast, and focus on decreasing the utilization of red meat, however much as could reasonably be expected, and to depend on solid protein sources, for example, fish, eggs, skinless poultry, vegetables, soybeans, nuts plentiful in nutrients and fiber, and low-fat dairy items containing proteins that diminish hunger. It is casein. 3. Increasing dietary filaments. Dietary strands help diminish craving, feel full for a more drawn-out time, and lessen the level of the insulin chemical that expands hunger. A sensation of completion and satiety during the day, and quite possibly the main source of strands. Whole grains, vegetables, almonds, chia seeds, vegetables and organic products, for example, apples, avocados, indeed, contemplates demonstrate the part of low-calorie, high-fiber veggie lover food, for example, oranges and grapefruit, which speed up the sensation of satiety, and add to keeping a steady degree of glucose. So the individual is instructed to build the size with respect to a feast of soaked dietary fiber. 4. Exercising. Doing direct to extreme exercise influences the craving control focus in the mind, as it was noticed that the degree of craving-animating chemicals diminished and hunger-smothering chemicals expanded after workout. Notwithstanding that activity is a decent hotspot for diverting a person from eating or in any event, considering everything. 5. Starting with soup and salad. It is viewed as savvy for one to begin a feast by eating dishes that are low in calories, wealthy in dietary fiber, and without or low fat, for example, healthy plates of mixed greens and solid soups, for example, vegetable soup, and these sound dishes help decrease the measure of calories by diminishing the measure of food devoured in the dinner. 6. Avoid sugars. The utilization of sugar-rich food varieties or counterfeit sugars expands the craving and the sensation of yearning, since eating desserts, rolls, and white bread brings about an ascent in the degree of glucose and afterward a quick decline, which causes the person to feel hungry in a brief time frame. So it is prescribed to eat low-carb and low-sugar food sources, for example, brown bread, oats, yams, apples, and plums, with the need to join starches with sound fats or lean proteins, to keep a consistent degree of glucose and try not to feel hungry, and the individual is additionally encouraged to attempt to supplant sugar with nectar, as it might add to smothering the appetite chemical ghrelin, and a sensation of satiety and completion for a more drawn-out period. 7. Great rest. The individual is encouraged to get sufficient rest and great nature of rest for a period going between 7 to 8 hours around evening time, as the absence of rest prompts an increment in the chemical ghrelin, which is liable for hunger, with the chance of expanding protection from the chemical insulin, as referenced already, which brings about expanded craving and longings for food, and an expanded danger of creating type 2 diabetes. 8. Eating dinners routinely. Eating little suppers consistently and more than once every a few hours diminishes hunger, keep an ordinary glucose level, dispose of yearnings for food sources during the day, and safeguard body energy. 9. Reducing pressure. The explanation for eating food can once in a while be expected to an enthusiastic or passionate trigger, for example, tension or weariness, or outrage, or bitterness. And this is totally not quite the same as actual appetite, and this issue can be construed if the last feast was eaten under 3 to 4 hours prior, and the stomach doesn't make commotions showing that it is empty, notwithstanding not inclination, tired and truly frail, in which case the individual is encouraged to attempt to focus and embrace careful eating rehearsals, as the mind is the fundamental liable for settling on choices by and large, including the idea of food, when to eat, notwithstanding the significance of acquiring the necessary social help, and rehearsing on winding works out.